Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and this is going to be a really quick one. So, every once in a while working on stuff, I'll just, record a little video showing the updates on, usually Etsy stuff and, just personal projects and stuff. But, yeah, I've recorded several of these, but I've literally never uploaded any of them, because none of them are really that good. But I kind of actually really hope that I end up uploading this one. So, if you see this video, I ended up uploading it. But I just kind of want to show a new prototype I'm kind of working on. And it's the Zjangopterix, which is a very small genus of Azhdarchid. And, yeah, I wanted to try some new stuff out. First thing you can see, this is a prototype, so it doesn't have jaw articulation. I did want to add jaw, head articulation, and leg articulation, but I was able to try out the main feature I really wanted to get done, which is these wings, which let me see if I can get my, camera to balance real fast. Okay, finally got my tripod out. The lighting might be a little bit worse over here since, again, there's not as much light over here, but I'll still try to show it off. Pretty much, something nice about the Gigantoraptor is actually the articulation. You can see the wings can just bend down, and then you can bend them up. This is the main reason I haven't done any pterosaurs, since I really wanted to give them good articulation. And, yeah, you can see this figure can stand. I'll just move my camera a little bit closer. But, yeah, you can see this figure can stand. And it can stand in the proper pterosaur position. And I've been wanting to do a figure like this for a while. I just was really trying to figure out a way how to do the wings. Eventually, I did find one, and I wanted to, I kind of came up with an idea, and I kind of wanted to test it out. And Gigantoraptor seemed like a pretty good one. It's small, so it won't take too many resources if something goes wrong. The thing that I might need to use for it, I can use ones that are a little bit easier to find since they're a bit smaller, because again, smaller genus. Also, I can probably make several of these for the Etsy. And, yeah, this probably won't come out for a while. I'm hoping maybe December, but, yeah, in Wave 4, which I'm going to talk about also, just a few other things to go with the Etsy, when I plan on releasing stuff, because I have, the whole thing planned for, pretty much the rest of this year. But, yeah, I kind of plan on releasing this in, pretty much Wave 3, and in probably, one of the first few batches. I'm going to try to do Wave 3 in one big batch, though. I might end up having to release it upon a few batches. Hopefully not 5, Wave 2 had to be released in. But, who knows. So, yeah, I'm going to probably try to release it then. But, yeah, this is just the prototype so far. There's a few things I learned. Basically, I made the, I actually did have to do fabric for the wings. I didn't really want to, but it's really the only way I can get this to work. Pretty much, yeah, I realized that I cut the fabric down a little bit too small, mainly on the underside. I'm also going to try to work on ways to make the underside look a little bit more pleasant. But, yeah. Also learned that proportionally, I did make the head a little bit too big, so it does have a little bit of issues being a little bit top-heavy, but it still can stand very easily. Another thing that I do want to update is, the legs. I just kind of kept them simple since I was really trying to make sure the wing articulation worked. But, yeah, I do want to give it, at least put it on one joint where it can swivel up and down, so that I can kind of actually have the legs move up and down so they can go straight out for a flying position, and then actually go under the body for a standing position. I kind of want the leg articulation to be this Jurassic World, Mattel Pteranodon, where it's just, one joint for the whole legs. Pretty much they can go under this for standing, and then up like this for this. And I do want to do larger Azhdarchids. I do not want to spoil that, but I do kind of want to do a larger one in particular. And on that, I can probably do ankle articulation, too, so that the feet can go straight out. But on the smaller one like this, I probably will have to have the feet curved at least so that it can stand, because I don't think, even for what I want to do, it's a bit too small for that. But anyways, that was pretty much everything to do with the Gigantoraptor, at least as of now. Just, simple articulation, pretty fun, and, yeah, again, maybe if I can make it less top-heavy, we can do some other things, but, yeah, it's really fun that I have this, and you can just have, the wings kind of fold out. And again, it is top heavy because I did make the head too proportionally big. And there's also no eyes or jaw on this because this is just a prototype to see if the idea works. But seeing that it does, I definitely want to try doing more of these in the future. Probably not going to do one for a while, but this is just a fun little prototype. I'll probably play around with it more to see if there's any other flaws I can kind of work out. But that's pretty much it. I also need to add a hand. So pretty much all the things I'm going to add, just going to list them off. Leg articulation, hands, and beak articulation, where it can open and close the mouth, and then also articulation at the head so it can go up and down like this. So yeah, that's pretty much all the articulation I plan on doing. Let me actually get something to show you for scale how small this is. This thing's very small. Here's it next to a human figure. So, yeah, this is not a full-blown review because, again, you can see it's really bad quality. My actual, filming station is really messy and I don't want to show that off. But, here's it next to the aerial ambush Quetzalcoatlus. Yeah, this whole entire idea kind of came from a combination of this figure plus some other like articulated pretty much dolls of another Ash Darkit I've seen. And honestly, just kind of a combination of those ideas finally came up with this. And yeah, I just really wanted to test it out before I put a bunch of resources into a giant pterosaur and then it comes out bad because I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, very happy. Anyways, do want to show a few other things off. Anyways, here is my custom Jurassic World slashing Gigantoraptor figure. This is a custom for my Therizinosaurus. I actually was coming up with like a really cool idea for a custom for the Hammond Collection Therizinosaurus, but then I was seeing if I could, because another Hammond Collection Therizinosaurus would be pretty expensive, and I want to get 2 more so I can do that custom so I can keep one of them. But until then, I was like, hey, maybe I could do the custom with this. Realized it wouldn't really work. I don't want to spoil what that custom is, but realized it wouldn't really work. But realized I have 2 Therizinosaurus and I never use this one. I always just use the Hammond Collection one, and personally that one looks better. So I was like, hey, this would work for a Gigantoraptor. We'd make a really cool Gigantoraptor custom. So I made a Gigantoraptor custom. And yeah, I'm still debating if I'm going to sell this one on the Etsy. If I do, I'll release it in November because it will go very nicely alongside another creature I have planned for a Thanksgiving release. But won't spoil that either. But yeah, I don't know. If you really want to see if you are interested in this figure and you want to see if I am going to release it, I don't know yet, but I'm probably just going to keep it, like finish it, because all I need to do is paint it. And then, after I finish it, probably just keep it for a while and see if, like, depends, since we have like 2 more months until November, if I really want to see if I want to actually sell it, but as of now, I probably am going to keep it. But I do want to show it off. Pretty much still has the articulation right here. You can see I had to literally, like, I've released some images of this. I actually released a bunch of images of this on my community post. That's where I get, like, pretty much the most frequent updates for my Etsy items. But, yeah, I gave it, yeah, you can see that I did basically have to cut the front part of this thing's face off to add the beak on and shorten the snout. I gave it a crest, and also, you can still see the original Therizinosaurus eye, but I'm going to have that actually be a nostril once I paint it, and this white dot right here is going to actually be the eye, so yeah. If you, like, really don't look at the orange part and look at this little white dot, the face actually does look pretty decent. Then the only part about this figure that I actually don't like so far is the tail fan. I don't hate it, but I feel like it could have been better, especially once you get it compared to the wings, which I actually thought came out pretty nicely. Pretty much has articulation up and down, back, forth, and the wings actually seem pretty seamless. They fit in pretty nicely. And then this part also can articulate. So yeah, the wrist pretty much still has all range of articulation for the most part, and it can still articulate and still move around and stuff. But yeah, if I ever get more of these Therizinosaurus, then I'll definitely make more for the Etsy. I mean, yeah, I'll make more Gigantoraptors for the Etsy, but as of now, I still don't know if I'm going to sell this one. But also the claws, I've had to cut them down, and now I just have a bunch of Therizinosaurus claws now, but yeah. In which I had to cut them down so that they would work as Gigantoraptor claws. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, pretty much just the Therizinosaurus figure, but I thought it would be cool to make a Gigantoraptor since I don't have a Gigantoraptor in my collection, and I already have a Therizinosaurus, and frankly, I guess I could have made an accurate Therizinosaurus, but I just don't think this figure would work well for that. So yeah, also this has kind of loose leg joints, so I have to kind of pose it up like this, but it kind of works out, kind of looks good. So, yeah, also just randomly, if you're wondering what the heck these are, yeah, I kind of had these for a while. I'm probably just going to sell them on the Etsy without customizing them, but I do have some other ones that I am going to customize, but we'll get to those in a second. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, this is my review station. It's a complete and utter mess because I have a bunch of stuff everywhere. I'm not going to pan over to the stuff because I don't want to even reveal it. But yeah, want to show basically some stuff that's releasing. I'm going to start with the stuff that's actually going to be releasing really soon in September. Don't know which ones of these repaints I'm going to do, but these repaints I'm just kind of been doing. Actually, these are some repaints I've had for a while. Even like the past several batches of repaints I've released have, well, been around about the same time as most of these items, and I've just added a few in every now and then. So yeah, these are all basically repaints that will be coming out and stuff at some point. Don't know which ones I'm going to be releasing this Monday. I'm probably going to get a few of them done. I might get these Hybotus, which are some custom Hybotus figures, which kind of work with the Jurassic figures pretty nicely. So yeah, these guys need to get painted up. And then I also have the Cetatherium. Don't know if this will be ready. This Dimetrodon and Stegosaurus, I don't want to reveal what color scheme I'm doing. You can guess in the comments if you'd like to. But yeah, I am working on these guys, and they should be done who knows when. I've been working on these guys for a while. In fact, I got these at the same time as like the Acrocanthosaurus. In fact, the Acrocanthosaurus, the kangaroo which I turned into a Procoptodon, the Ornitholestes, and I feel like one other figure might have been there. I basically primed with white, except for the Acrocanthosaurus because I accidentally forgot that one, so the Acrocanthosaurus had the least amount of work done on it. Yet, it was done before these two, which had more production done, and I already knew what color scheme I was doing on them. Yeah, these guys are taking a long time. Then I have these. This is one of the McDonald's figures. I'm repainting this. I'm not going to say what color scheme it is. You can also guess this one. And then I also gave a nice coat of paint onto the egg to make it look a little bit better and more realistic. So, yeah. These guys will also release at some point. Then we have some baby dinosaurs. I'm pretty sure you can see what color scheme I'm going with these guys. I'm probably going to have to redo it partially because I don't think the blue came out very well. So I want to redo it to make it look a little bit nicer. But these guys will be releasing together probably. Moving on, we have the actual figures releasing. Are these part of Wave 2 or Wave 3, you may be wondering. Technically, until I officially announce Wave 3 is releasing, everything is just technically part of Wave 2, just kind of being sprinkled out. Because technically, the last figures that are officially released in Wave 2 were the Herrerasaurus and the Diplodocus, which the Herrerasaurus is no longer available, but the Diplodocus is. So again, if you'd like to check that out, link my Etsy in the description. Actually, it probably should be there already, but yeah. But some other items that I are releasing. Sorry for my chair squeaking. First off, here is the Baryonyx bird meme figure. I made a community post after making this and said, basically, if anyone's interested, comment down below, and if there's enough people interested, I will actually release this. And, well, yeah, a lot of people were actually pretty decently interested in this figure, so I am going to make a whole bunch more of these. Probably not a whole bunch, probably only 3 or 4 more of them, and they will be available on the Etsy. And they should be releasing this Monday, because these are just pretty simple figures. It's going to be releasing soon. And this has been like a month since I first revealed this figure, so yeah, probably about time for it to get it out. And then next, again, my chair is really stupidly squeaking, but next we have this. No one asked for this at all, really. But this is a Megalatus figure. If you don't know, Megalatus is a giant extinct lemur. Sometimes called I believe the koala lemur. But yeah, this thing is a very bizarre looking lemur. And also, yes, this tree thing I literally just made just because this thing cannot stand because there's no articulation. It was originally going to have it, but it came out too big and really didn't have any. So maybe I'll do this creature in the future better. But as of now, this is the one that's going to be releasing. Pretty much, it comes with a tree stand you can put it on alongside a piece of bark, which you can basically put into you can pretty much have in its hand or you can put it in its mouth. And it's supposed to kind of look like it came off of the tree right here. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, Megalatus, extinct giant lemur. This figure, actually, they all have jaw articulation, but I just glued the jaws in place and kind of got rid of the articulation since it really did not come out right. And also, just again, this whole entire figure kind of came out wonky, but in the end, it did kind of work out. There's no articulation. I really wanted to have it so it could stand and actually go onto the tree. I wanted to give it articulation in the jaw and stuff, but none of that ended up happening. So yeah, this is going to be the figure that's releasing as of now. This is also going to be a random September release, though I want to get this done Monday, though. Don't be surprised if this gets pushed back. I'll probably do 2 batches in September. One will be the Monday batch, which will definitely have the Baryonyx meme figure plus a few repaints, and then I might do another one with the Megalatus, or this might actually release in this batch. Who knows? I think this is also the most recently extinct animal I've done. I do want to do a dodo at some point, and maybe a thylacine, though. Okay, I can always pan over there, but yeah, I do want to do those at some point, though. I don't really have any plans to do them anytime soon. And then there's also that giant gecko from New Zealand, which I do have planned, though. Originally it was going to release on its own, but now I think I'm going to put it in a set, and that set probably won't come till next year. So, yeah, sorry about that. Anyways, moving on, a few other things I kind of want to show off. That's mainly the stuff that's going to be releasing. So, yeah, that's going to be releasing this September. But now we move on to miscellaneous, plus, and eventually we'll get onto my full release schedule. Anyways, let me go grab some of these stuff I'm working on. So, moving on to some of the sculpts I've worked on. First, I want to start with Tactolic. Despite the winner of the creature vote being Herrerasaurus, there were a lot of submissions on the creature vote that I really liked and did want to do, and I have been doing a few of them every now and then. And this is Tactolic, and this is a creature that was suggested on the creature vote. It actually got, I think it actually was one of the runner-ups somewhat. I think it actually may have been the runner-up. I think it was second place to Herrerasaurus, and then I put it in the poll with Herrerasaurus and it completely got demolished. But yeah, I decided to actually do a Tactolic figure. The sculpt came out actually pretty good. This is actually really fresh. This is probably the last thing I sculpted. Literally I can just squish this clay. It is very freshly sculpted. So this is really going to need to dry for a little while, but after it dries I can cast it. And then we can make Tactolic. This will probably release in Wave 3 in December. Next, we have. Also, I want to mention Wave 3. I say December, though it might be early. I mean, very late November, early December, but maybe middle December at most. But, yeah. Next, we have Mikasuchus. At least this is part of it. I have to make, like, the legs and stuff. This is what the Mikasuchus figure is going to be. This I actually sculpted a while ago. I actually sculpted 3 figures. One of them was a creature that's going to be releasing during October as like a Halloween figure. I won't reveal what that is. I just re-sculpted it. I was going to bring it over, but immediately damaged it, like partially. It's good enough that I can still use it for casting, but I damaged it immediately. So, yeah, you guys are just going to have to wait for that one. No, I'm not going to be able to show that one in the update. But I basically made one of those, and literally my Snap Squad Spinosaurus fell off the shelf since it's literally on a shelf right above like where I have my stuff drying, and it completely shattered the thing. So yeah, that was gone. And then also the giant gecko, I think that was there. I think I picked it up to move it to a better location. Like after the stuff fell, I kind of need to clean that location up. And then I can't remember if I actually dropped it or like a piece fell off of it, and then like the whole thing kind of fell apart from there. I think I actually dropped it. I think I might have knocked a piece off, and then I tried to pick it up and dropped it, and then the whole thing just shattered. So yeah. The giant gecko I'm going to have to redo, and Mikasuchus was the only one of the 3 that survived and didn't get completely shattered, so yeah, it's the only one left. And, yeah, this guy should be pretty fun to cast. This probably won't be coming out till Wave 3 in December, but yeah. Next, we have a creature I'm not going to reveal the name of. You can get to see it, though. And I already know what you're thinking, what this is. Like, I'm pretty sure you already think you know what this is, but it's not. I promise you it is not the creature you're thinking of. It's not the popular one. It is a relative of that popular creature, but it's not the popular creature. I wanted to try to cast a placoderm. Like, it's pretty clear this is a placoderm, but still revealing it's placoderm. I've been wanting to try to make, like, a placoderm head and then casting it afterwards. And, yeah, I'm going to try it with this creature first. And if it goes well, then maybe I'll do more placoderms like this. But, yeah, also this part's coming off, and then that part's still attached. But pretty much, okay, that part came off too. But pretty much upper and lower jaw should be able to open and close. This is, like, partially dry. Not completely, but partially dry enough. And, yeah, this is just a figure. Honestly, this is just a random one. I don't even have any plans for this to release, so expect it sometime random. Maybe I'll release in November, since November is probably the most free month. I have one, like, specifically themed figure for the season. Then I have, like, one custom kind of planned, and that's pretty much it. So, yeah. And again, that custom, I'm not even 100% sure. That's the Gigantoraptor, so who knows. But yeah, this is this creature, which again, if you like to comment down below and try to take a guess, you can. Next, we have one that, actually, I'm going to start with this figure first, because I'm going to save that other one for last, because that's probably a creature that I've gotten requested for a while and haven't done, but I decided I'm going to at least give an attempt at it. But first, we have Omnidens. I posted this on my community tab, and yeah, I oversized this creature to oblivion. Let me move my camera up some. Yeah, I oversized this creature to oblivion. This creature was actually, I think, a suggestion and then entered into the creature vote. This guy, I don't think got too far, or it might have gotten a decent way in, but then got cut. This creature, let me just take this out of frame real fast and lower the camera. This creature, let me just get him a tail figure for scale. Should probably be, okay, if we're starting at the feet, should probably be about up to here. And that's the entire creature, including, like, the arms. Here's my figure for it. The entire length of this thing, from here to here, should just be a slightly taller than a human figure, but, yeah, this entire thing, I oversized it to oblivion, and now I just have this giant thing. And I honestly don't know what the heck I'm going to do with it. I'm probably going to cast it. Maybe. Honestly, I don't know. And then I might release one on the Etsy, because I did end up deciding to do another one at a smaller scale. It still came out oversized, but this is a little bit more manageable. Heck, I might give another attempt at sculpting if I really feel like sculpting Omnidens again. And it will be, like, even smaller, hopefully, but honestly, I don't know. Maybe I'll just release this one. This might be the one releasing on the Etsy. This will probably be in October for a Halloween figure. But then this one, I honestly don't know. If someone really wants the giant version of this, let me know, and maybe I'll make 1 or 2 of them for the Etsy at some point. Honestly, don't even know when. Maybe December, or honestly, I have no idea. So, yeah. These are the 2 attempts at sculpting this creature. Let me know if I should try again, because the first 2 times were technically successful since the sculpt came out well, but they came out massive. Now for the last thing, I think this is the last thing I really have to show off. This is really it. I also want to mention this video. Actually, I do want to talk about releases, and I do have some customs I actually do want to show off in a second too. But I am going to also talk about my release dates for the Etsy's, because pretty much Wave 1 released a while ago. That's the first stuff I released on the Etsy. Wave 2 I released recently, and I released it in 5 batches. Wave 3 coming December. We'll talk about all the other stuff like the holiday releases later. But anyways, want to move on to this one. And I want you guys not to get your hopes up too much if you are actually really wanting this creature. This is Arthropleura. And I do want to mention, this thing is probably going to be about a foot long when finished. Maybe a little bit less than a foot long. But yeah, pretty much the headpiece is only going to be casted once. This is going to only be casted once. This segment's only going to be casted once. This segment's going to be casted once. And this segment's going to be casted once. This is the middle segment, so it's going to be casted like probably like 5 times, I think, and that's going to make up like a majority of the length. And then you can kind of see like with the spacing how big it's going to be roughly, and then maybe extend it by, you can't even see on the screen, but all the way out to here somewhat. And that should give you about how big the Arthropleura figure is going to be. Here's a human for scale. Don't want to damage it too much because it's still a little bit wet. But yeah, this is this figure, and yeah, the Arthropleura, I've had people suggest this one. But the one issue with Arthropleura is that I would really want it to have good articulation, and I do not know how in the world I'm going to do that. And in fact, I still don't know how I'm going to do the articulation. Any suggestions, comment down below. But since I don't know yet, don't get your hopes up too much. I want this to be a Halloween release for October. But no promises, because again, I really don't know how I'm going to pull this thing off. So yeah, wish me luck. I also did actually sculpt bottom segments. Let me go grab that too. Yeah, this is the underside, like the legs and stuff. Pretty much, I will have to cast a bunch of these, and they'll go under each segment. So, one here, several for this middle segment, one here, probably about 2 here, and then 1 more at the end, and that will be the legs for the Arthropleura. And yeah, this thing's going to be massive. It's going to be a pretty good figure, pretty decent sized figure. But yeah. Anyways, oh yeah, completely forgot. I don't know how I completely brushed over this giant pink abomination. I've been having issues painting this, but you can already tell this is the Hidden Adventures. My camera keeps on wanting to reveal the mess of my table, but yeah, this is going to be the Hidden Adventures Tarbosaurus, and yeah, this thing's been a nightmare to paint, and I honestly just want to get over with this thing. Who knows when I'll get this done? I kind of want to get it just over with, but maybe I'll save it for like a for a Thanksgiving release, or at least a November release, since honestly I kind of don't feel like painting this thing. Frankly, I just don't know what to do with this figure at this point. But yeah. I also don't want to reveal what it is, but I have some kind of more retro-looking dinosaur figures, and there's a lot of them, so I don't feel like bringing them in. But I'm going to be making 2 sets, and 2 of the sets are going to be Fantasia in 2 different size ranges. One's going to be slightly bigger than the other. Well, not in number of species, but in like actual the size of the figures. But I'm going to do a Fantasia set. I'm going to just bring in like a figure from each size range. Here's like an Ankylosaurus. This is going to be like the larger set. It's not very big, but yeah. I'm going to do a bunch of Fantasia repaints for 1 set. And then the Ankylosaurus in the smaller set, we'll bring that in. Here it is. So yeah, pretty much those are the 2 sets. Those, honestly, I would be really nice if I can get those all painted by Monday so they can release in the next batch, but who knows. And then I also have a Valley of Gwangi set, with a Allosaurus figure, a Styracosaurus figure, and what is going to be a, like, I think it's an Ornithomimus figure, so yeah. And then there's a few other random repaints, which I won't reveal because it's kind of pointless. But I do want to talk about my release, pretty much timeline for the Etsy figures as of now. I do want to mention this is not accounting for just random stuff I release, who knows when. But pretty much the September batch, there's probably going to be 1 or 2 of them. Pretty much one's coming out Monday, and then there's at least hopefully Monday, assuming I get it all done in time, though. Don't be surprised if it gets pushed back to Tuesday. But then after that, there's going to probably be another one, possibly, depending on if I have more stuff to release by then. Probably a bit later in September. So, yeah. Then, afterwards, there's going to be the October batch, which is going to actually be the Halloween-themed batch. Pretty much all those figures are going to release a good bit before Halloween. Like, I don't remember exactly when Halloween is. But it's going to release probably a good, like, halfway through the month, I want to say. So, yeah, they're going to be a lot of, let's just say, arthropods. And I have, actually, pretty much, let me see, 5 creatures. Not all of them are definitely going to be there. But I have to say, 1 of them's a dinosaur, 1 of them's a synapsid, and 3 of them are arthropods. And again, the dinosaur, if one ends up getting cut, it's probably the dinosaur, to be completely honest. But, yeah, I'm still kind of deciding for those figures. Maybe if I do say anything more about them, it will be in the community post. So definitely recommend checking those out. Anyways, after that October batch, there will be a November batch, which is going to be pretty small. I'm not going to be releasing much in November. At least I don't have anything planned. I have one small figure planned for November, just a little fun Thanksgiving figure. It won't be releasing on Thanksgiving, but we'll probably be releasing like a week before. So yeah, it's gonna just be a little fun one, and let's just say it kind of has something to do with turkey. So take that as you will. Next, we have Wave 3, which is releasing in December, because, I mean, that's the holiday season, so probably best time to release stuff. And during then, I actually have, that's, again, the, I don't want to reveal everything that's in Wave, I think, Wave 3. I think I have probably shared it, but I did do some rearranging to the list. I won't say everything, frankly, just because I don't feel like mentioning it all, but the Zjangopterix will probably be releasing there. I have a actual 2-pack releasing there, one with the actual dinosaur 2-pack. I have planned for a Pterosaur, I believe, or whatever the heck Rex is from Primeval. Have the plan for a few marine reptiles, a few amphibians, some dinosaurs, one of which is from the Dino Kids franchise, a pretty obscure species. At least one mammal actually 2 mammals that I'm kind of considering. The larger figure that's going to be for batch 3, and for this batch I think it was Herrerasaurus, which was the larger figure. But for this batch, it's going to be a Synapsid, which, again, I don't even know if I released this. And then there's also several fish, I think. Actually, 2 fish on here. So, yeah, this list really changed. Like, half the list I completely cleared. Because, honestly, I just felt like it was kind of pointless. Though some of those figures might release, some of them won't. Honestly, it's kind of hard to say. And then, that's not even including the Christmas batch, which will also technically be part of Wave 4, but I'm kind of counting it separately. The Christmas batch will be pretty fun, since I have some interesting ideas. I have an idea for pretty much one small figure planned, one medium figure planned, and then one pretty large one. It'll be the largest creature I'm making for the Etsy. And yeah, I have some options, and I might actually reveal them now just because I really want you guys' input on this. And yes, this is kind of spoiling all the options for the Christmas one, but I do want you guys' input on this. Please comment down below if you want to comment, but which one of these you'd want the most. So the options are Gigantoraptor. This figure would come with a little small accessory. I might actually release a small creature alongside any one of these, whichever one gets picked. But the Gigantoraptor, it will be releasing alongside one creature that did live with it. Won't say which one, because I don't want to spoil it, since it is a creature that's already releasing in Wave 3, I think it is. I mean, yeah, Wave 3. Another creature that we'll be releasing is another option is Nanukosaurus. So first was Gigantoraptor, next was Nanukosaurus. Don't know what I would want to release alongside it, but I'll figure something out. Then we have Eutyrannus. Also don't know what I would release alongside it, but yeah, Eutyrannus is another option. Those were the 3 dinosaurs. Then the rest are mammals. Ermatherium and Megatherium. Pick one of those 2. Don't know what I release alongside it, but still pretty cool options. Umbulatherium is another option. And then we also have Elasmotherium. So those are all your options for the Christmas batch. I'll probably mention this in the community tab and do like an actual poll or something. But yeah. Pretty much just pick one of those creatures, comment down below, and if you have any other suggestions or there's just anything else that I've kind of mentioned in the comment down below in this video you want to mention, add that into. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. The only other things that I have really to say is that's pretty much my plans for this year, and then I have a few ideas that might get pushed back to January. For example, I actually have released like a set, which is the Killer Coral Reef set. And I originally had like planned for 2 more sets that come after that, but I kind of scrapped those ideas to an extent. Not necessarily scrapped the idea of doing more sets, just I kind of scrapped those sets. One of them was supposed to be another ocean-themed one, which only reason I was really doing that is because I had a creature that I already sculpted that was originally supposed to be an Killer Coral Reef, but I decided to just not release it there. And then we have another set was going to come after that, which is going to be a swamp set. But considering another set that I plan on doing, not like the bag set with a bunch of minifigures, but like an actual full set with like a whole entire diorama, I kind of want to do. I kind of just didn't want to do that one either, and I'll just release the creatures alongside that item instead. Instead, I came up with a different idea for a set. Pretty much having one prehistoric creature from each geological area. Geological era, somewhat. Pretty much. We have the Precambrian, the Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, Permian, Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous, Paleogene, Neogene, and Quarterogene. Or Quartertine, or whatever it is. So yeah, those are all of the years we're doing. I wanted to do the epochs of the Cenozoic, but that was just way too much. And I also want to mention, There is absolutely no shot that I'm going to be able to do that. Well, there's absolutely no shot that anyone's going to be able to guess every creature on here. If you want to, give it a shot in the comments. And if you do, I will let you pick literally any prehistoric animal for me to make for the Etsy. Anything. If you're able to guess everything. But there's no shot because these are probably some of the most obscure animals from these eras. In fact, I've barely heard about any of these. In fact, of the ones that are in here, only one of them appears in a documentary. Dinofelis, that's the only one I'm going to give you guys. Dinofelis is the only one. And then I think of all of these, I think only one other one has gotten even a figure. But yeah, all of these are pretty obscure, and I doubt that you've heard of them. I think of here, the ones that I've heard of, I'd probably say like 3 of them I've heard of, or actually 4 of them I've heard of, and this set has 13 different creatures. I know 4 out of 13 creatures in the set. Everything else is pretty obscure. So yeah, this will probably be pretty interesting. I have this plan for January since I still have several of the sets. Again, if you're interested in the Killer Coral Reef set, which let me go grab it to even show you guys. In case you haven't seen it, here's the Killer Coral Reef set, including 12 or I can't remember if it's 12 or 14. Sorry, I can't remember for sure, but yeah, pretty much one of those numbers of prehistoric creatures. Prehistoric marine creatures, to be more specifically, and they're all in this bag set. And it's going to be another set like this, except it's going to be with one creature from each geological age. And yeah, this set will be releasing most likely January, since I still have a few of these, and these take a lot of time to make. And frankly, I don't want to do all of that until probably all these sell out. So yeah, probably not until January. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!